I'm very excited because today we're chatting to John Ponnell, who is the hoop guy, and John's been working with Blue Boo now for, well, actually since we pretty much started over 4 years
Yeah,
ago. I think it's nearly 5 years now, and he
yeah.
subscribes to our daily PR leads. And I just want to share with you how easy it can be to get success and to get national coverage. And John is going to share with us his quick story on how he responded to a PR lead that came in just before Christmas, and how now he's been featured in a 3-page spread in a national newspaper. John, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, hi.
So just tell us then, obviously you've been working with Blue Boo, you've come along to our events, you've heard me
Yeah,
speak, and you
yeah,
subscribe to our daily PR leads. So
that's
just
right.
tell us what happened when a PR lead comes through, because they come through every day to you. Do you look at them every day?
Not every day. It's like we always read all of our emails, don't we?
Yeah.
No, I mean, sometimes you get too busy. Sometimes it's I'm reading 2 days PR leads in one go. But yeah, I mean, it's good to strike while the iron's hot. So if you can respond shortly after 2 o'clock when they arrive, then that's best.
So tell us what happened then. A request came in, and do you know what did it say? I know you're going to send it a copy of this to us so we can see the
Yeah,
trail of it. But what was it
yeah.
for?
Okay, it was a national magazine. It was a journalist looking for uh, either a person or a couple who had de-stressed their life, maybe changed career, that sort of thing. So I thought, well, this sounds like me because in 2008 I was very stressed. I had been for some years with my job. I had headaches on a Saturday because of the stress of the working week. I was doing a lot of travelling, staying in hotels, etc. I thought, yeah, this is me, and I am doing something, shall we say, totally different now. So I just replied to the journalist saying I used to be in a high powered job flying around the world, and I changed my career. And so then information came back. Okay, great. What did you used to do, and what do you do now? And I explained, and the answer was, "Oh, great! I'll pass this on to my editor. This sounds interesting." Obviously, we've got other requests coming in from other people, but yeah, I'll pass it on to my editor. We'll see what happens. That was the 6th of October.
Yeah.
I think within a day or so, they were asking for my email address so we could exchange more details than you can in tweets and tweet messages. And yeah, it just went from there. They said, yes, we're interested. Like we're doing now, they decided to do a Skype interview.
Brilliant.
And the Skype interview with this journalist was 1.5 hours long.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't believe she could ask so many questions. But she wanted to know everything, and then obviously they choose what bits they want to publish from
Yeah.
there. So yeah, just be open and honest. Tell them everything they ask. They're not going to put your life story in there, but they're looking for the interesting bits.
Yeah.
And the odd little word that I'd say, she said, "Oh, hang on, tell me more about that." So that's how it sort of developed. And following the interview, obviously then the editor said, yes, we like this, we want to go ahead further. And it was arranged that sort of middle to end of November, I can't remember exactly, they arranged for a photographer to come to the church hall near me, and they brought a makeup artist with them as well. And they asked me to arrange for some children to come along because obviously I work with children teaching hula hooping.
Yeah.
And we had about 8 or 9 children turn up. The girls loved having this little pamper party, having their makeup and their hair done for the photographs.
Brilliant.
And that was all done and finished by the end of November, and then it all appeared in the January edition of the magazine.
And it's fantastic. And here's the
Yeah,
actual copy. So you've actually had a 3-page spread, and like you just said
yeah,
as well, you appeared in the content section, and this is for Saga magazine. So it's a
that's right.
national
Yeah,
magazine. That's your
yeah.
granddaughter, right? You've told me.
That is my granddaughter Jessica in the contents with the
She's
hoops all
lovely.
around her.
And then your double-page spread here, and then it even goes over to the next
Yeah,
page.
that's right. And on the third page, that is another of my grandchildren. That's Alfie.
Ah.
Whereas I call myself the hoop guy, Alfie calls himself the hoopinator.
Oh, that's so
Uh,
funny. That is so
no.
cool.
Well, when you hear Alfie, if you came to our juggling club on a Friday night, if anybody is there and wants to learn to hoop, Alfie teaches them, and it's just like listening to Mini Me. Oh, it really is.
Oh, that
Oh,
is
you
so
stand like
cool.
this, put one foot forward, lean your shoulders back, and it's just like, yeah, it's
But what
brilliant.
is great, John, is the fact that first and foremost, it was really easy to reply, wasn't it? You just
Oh,
simply
yeah, yeah,
clicked, the live links are there
yeah,
for the PR leads that come
yeah.
through. You clicked reply and just said, I can help you with this story. They
That's
replied
right.
back, you exchanged an email. But what is
Yeah,
nice is, like you say, yes, they've done a detailed interview, but it's actually all about your business. So
that's right.
to
Yeah.
have coverage, I mean, to probably have a 3-page spread in Saga magazine, I would imagine it would cost you 20, 30,000.
Oh, well, yeah, lots.
If
Yes,
not
if you
more.
wanted
I
to
don't
take it,
know,
yeah,
but the
yeah,
nationals are very expensive.
yeah,
Interesting to
yeah,
find actually. But the circulation, now it isn't your ideal target market because obviously you're appealing to schools and
that's right.
to children, but it's
Yeah,
got the grandparents there and some of the parents that are going to be reading it.
exactly.
So, but from an awareness point of view and a credibility point of view, and how you will be able to leverage this will be absolutely fantastic for you because if you know watching this interview, Johnny's very much B2B, so he makes his money by going into schools and doing what he absolutely loves, teaching children to hula hoop. So what he wants to do is obviously make sure they can get into schools so that they book him so he has repeat business. So
Yeah,
this is a great way for you to be able to say, hey, look, you know, even the newspapers and, you know, the national magazines are writing about me. So absolutely well done.
yeah,
And what is lovely is that, like you say, they've sent a makeup artist, they've sent the photographer, but it's great as well because it is your
yeah.
personal story and it's your true story. But your family got involved as well. That's quite cool, isn't
That's
it?
right. Yes. And I mean, let's be honest. I mean, these media requests, you send them out every day, and this is not the first one I've replied to. You don't always get what you're after.
Yeah,
It's always worth applying. And yes, there's been probably 5 or 6 times that I've applied that I've not got anything from it.
yeah,
But having said that, there is also now an article in the Guardian Online,
yeah,
and that's all about me. And that again came from one of your media requests. And since we've been working together over the last 5 years, I've been on local radio, Coventry and Warwickshire, Leicester radio, places like that, and on more than one occasion because once they knew me
yeah.
and they were happy with what I'd done for them on the radio, they've invited me back on other occasions since. So it's not just a one-off thing. The media request can lead to more credibility and, radio stations contacting you at a moment's notice to say, we've
Yeah.
got a slot to fill. Are you available? Can you help?
And it's funny, John, because, you know, and it's great because that's how it works. But on one side, you're so niche that the PR goes in your favour and goes against you as well at the same time, doesn't it? Because, you know, when they want you, they want you. If they want someone specific and that's you,
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
is very niche with what you do. So sometimes it is hard. But you're right. And it is best to reply to as many
Yeah.
media requests
Yeah.
and build those relationships up with the journalists. So just tell us, because what is great is, I mean, we all love traditional print. We love, to see it in writing.
Yeah.
But as we know, everybody's moving online. And,
Yeah.
from what you're trying to achieve with your business as well, and from a search engine optimization point of view, and from the links point of view, it's great if you can get an online presence as well. Now,
Yeah.
the Guardian Online reach 500,000 unique users a day. Their reach is
Yeah.
unbelievable. So,
Yeah.
so they've actually done an article with you. Did you get an interview, or did you just do it all over email?
No, that was an interview, some on email, but there was a short interview as well for that. As I say, because that's online, that's something you can push around easy on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. But this, with the Saga magazine, they have kindly sent me the PDF of the article. So again, I've got an electronic copy that I can send around.
Yeah.
And I know you're saying that Saga isn't really my target market, and yes, you're quite correct. But the way I looked at it was, as you mentioned, grandparents and sometimes parents will see this magazine,
Yeah.
and they may be school governors, they may be on the PTA. So
Yes.
the word will get out there. And I don't just work with children. I do talks and demonstrations for groups such as the Women's Institute and people like that. And in fact, earlier this week, I think it was Monday, I had an email from a group in the Birmingham area, U3A, which is University of the Third Age, which is for, I think it's people generally over 50, and they would like me to go and do a talk and a demonstration and get them to all have a try at hula hooping.
Fantastic.
So they found me through the Saga magazine.
Yay!
I know that because they told me when they contacted me.
Just brilliant, John. I absolutely love it, and you've been so loyal with Blue Boo. You've been one of our kind of founder members, really, right from the beginning. And it's
worth it.
I know. I just love it when we hear all these success stories, and it's fantastic because it's not difficult to do, but it does take a bit of time, doesn't it, John? But the rewards really pay. What would you say to anyone? Because obviously the PR leads, it's like a low entry level. It's just £29 a month. It's flexible. You can try it for a month and stop if you want, or you can go on forever. What would you say to anyone that was perhaps thinking of giving it a go?
Well, I mean, we've already discussed how much it could cost to get a full page or 3 full pages in a big magazine like that. I mean, £29 a month. How else can you find out what magazines want?
Yes.
The PR leads are giving you an upfront. It's no good waiting till you see an article in a magazine and then contact them and say, oh, I do that. Oh, yes, but we've already covered that story now.
Yeah.
So to have these PR leads, it's just worth its weight in gold. I mean, I started out, I thought I'll give it a try for a couple of months. But in those first 2 months, I already got on radio because of what I'd seen. And obviously attending your open days and events also helps. So, I'd suggest people give that a go. But certainly the media requests, I just don't know where else I would go to get that sort of information, how much it would probably cost to get it by trying to do it yourself. So to have the service with you is perfect for me.
Oh, thank you, John, and I really appreciate it. And what is great now is, and for anyone watching this, PR is when you get PR coverage, you want to leverage it as much as you can. And I'm going to have a chat to John off after this interview to say, what he wants to do now really is get this article out to, like he said, to the school governors, to the trade educational press, to say, look, I've just been featured here. So then they might follow it on and do an article as well, because it's quite unique and quite different, and it just kind of puts him amongst his peers, really. It gives him credibility, just continues to build your amazing profile, John. John, thank you so much for sharing your story. We'll get the PDF from you. We'll get the trail of the emails so we show everybody how easy it is, to actually just reply, because it is a bit scary initially, isn't it? But it's not too scary, is it, when you speak to them?
Well, the way I find is just reply to any that you think might work and just get the experience of replying, and then somebody will contact you back to say, yes, we're interested in your story. And it's all of a sudden it's not scary because it's happening. It's just, oh, wow, great. And, they want to talk to you, so why should you be scared?
Good for you. Thank you. Well, keep up the good work. Let us know how you get on, and I look forward to seeing you at my next event, obviously.
Okay, lovely.
See you, John. Thank you.